Oh my gosh, it worked. That's insane. Okay, well, anyways, having a morning, word of warning on this stream. Everything seems broken this morning. Absolutely broken. First off, I updated my OBS. Right before stream, I was like, oh, update 34.0.4. Sounds like a little subversion. What could go wrong? Answer, don't ever update. It's just terrible. I don't know why people say to update anything. God, as I get older, I'm like, I just don't want to update ever. Anyways, it broke a couple plugins. So then I was sitting there, one of the plugins, the countdown plugin, completely broken. There's no update. So AI to the rescue. Python scripts. Apparently you can load scripts directly into OBS. I had no idea, but scripted up one of those. It took the place of the plugin. We're right as rain. I'm surprised that even worked. Microphone. Yeah. Also, there was a Windows update. Windows likes to do this thing on me where when you update that system, it just resets all the device IDs and everything. So then it just kind of gets jumbled up. So don't turn off the computer or update on Windows. God, I love Windows. Jeez. Yeah, how is that the #1 operating system? It just blows my damn mind every time. So then there's that. And then all my devices, apparently Amaran. Shout out to Amaran. You probably heard them. All the YouTubers use them. Fancy lights. Absolute shite for an app. Whoever programs their app, go buy a subscription to Claude because I'm pretty sure it could do a better job than you are doing. Awful. Required a plug-in, reset all the damn devices. God, I'm just like an old man yelling at clouds right now. But, oh, it just makes me mad. And it's already a hot mess. Somebody's calling me. It's probably a spammer. I'm done already today. Oh my gosh. All right, let's just get on the desktop. Oh, does this even work? You know, as much as I'm sitting here complaining, it's kind of shocking. More things haven't gone wrong. It's actually gone off without a hitch. Some days, it just feels like the world's falling apart, but you know, I can't complain. Everything seems fine. Any tips for audio crackling on Linux? Ooh. You know, there are some tips there. I think there's actually probably Pipewire. You know, I don't think I've run into the audio cracking since switching to Pipewire. But I did fix it at once upon a time. I just don't remember how I did it. I want to say I did like a custom pulse audio setting. Maybe we look at that today. Well,
the dude abides.
Rie, thanks for the prime. Also, earlier I saw Dan subbing too, so I appreciate it. Will you meet Dr. Disrespect? Is that guy still around? I thought he died. Huh. All right. Or got imprisoned. I don't know. Sorry, a little spicy this morning. All right. Pipewire gets some weird lag. Just a few apps. Looking forward to migrate though. Okay, yeah. Pipewire, I think, fixed most of that. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not plugged into the streaming skeet. The streaming scene. I'm just not my jam, really. I don't go to like TwitchCon or anything like that. I just kind of do my own thing over here. It's kind of what I do on my YouTube as well. Although I do talk to some other YouTubers. But I don't think I've ever talked to another streamer. Like, I think I've like messaged one, like maybe Primogen. We've had a little back and forth, but that's about it. Nobody really else. As far as streamers go, I don't know. I'm probably antisocial in that realm. Oh, yeah. Huge fan of the Windows utility. Yeah, man. I tell you, we've been doing a lot of PRs on the Windows utility. It's been great. Oh, yes. Oh, no. Really? Nope. I got an email about some kind of insurance thing. Oh. But maybe someone's just trying to steal my identity again. Yeah. Hey, not cool, guys. Don't steal my identity and do something with the insurance. Yeah. Absolutely not. Not cool, guys. Come on now.
Okay, yeah, because I've literally had 7 missed calls, no joke, and then there's a text message, like more text messages.
Oh man.
And why they're contacting me, I don't know.
Yeah, they probably thought you were me somehow. Probably some public number. Yeah. I change mine so often, it's like nobody knows. Okay. Alright, sorry, my love. I blame Twitch chat. It's all their fault. It could have been YouTube. They're a bunch of degenerates too. All right, sorry. Love you guys. Hey, it's okay. Just first world problems over here. Yeah, I still have that goofy wizard hat. It's over here. It's great. YouTube's like, nah, it was Twitch. All right, so what are we doing today? I was like, had some stuff planned, but then it just kind of all got thrown out the window this morning when everything kind of fell apart. What are the biggest issues people are having right now on Linux? Somebody said 590 NVIDIA driver. Firefox now blinks unless I disable XFC composition. Any other big issues people having? Let's see. Oh, my HP Elite book was using 8.5 gigs on startup. Whoa. Then down to 4. All right, Sinner. That's not bad. Better. Let's see. What else we got? Yeah, Linux is an issue. So I've actually been doing some, let's see. So I've been playing some Age of Empires, of course. I just love Age of Empires 4. Just one of my favorite games of all time. Arc Raiders. I've been hitting that up a little bit. It's been good. Arc Raiders actually has pretty good Linux compatibility. Age of Empires, I don't think I'm doing anything too special on the launch options here. I think forcing X11, clearing out the preload from game mode because it would kind of crash. And then these are just some universal options to force Vulkan instead of DirectX, and then no movies on startup. So that's a pretty basic tweak. Arc Raiders, I don't think I'm doing much. Just game mode with a command, which is pretty much what everyone should be doing for launch options in Steam on Linux. Fallout, what am I doing here? Oh, I was trying game scope out. It really sucks though, so I'm gonna take that out for that. I do like VK Basalt. Very nice. And what else do I have? Every once in a while I'll play Lord of the Rings Online, but I also had World of Warcraft, actually. Been kind of gaming it up so far this bit. And this one, I want to say we were changing out some things here as well. And I kind of wanted to automate some things with some scripts. We're using GE Proton latest, and World of Warcraft was kind of funky on the setup. I was having some issues, and God bless it, I can't remember exactly what I was doing. I think this one I had to do game scope because it was all screwed up. So on World of Warcraft, I ended up doing game scope, where the Steam-based games I was not. So yeah, It's kind of weird. Is there any reason to use X11 at this point? Blood, I'm kind of in the minority here. So for me, I really like X11. It's just very tried and true. Wayland was still giving me some bugs. The bugs I was running into was when the compositor was rendering on Hyperland specifically. There was a little bit of a bleed through effect on some windows when in games. I didn't like that. Drag and drop capabilities, there was a little bit of lag. Some of the animations were a little not to my taste. I tried to remove them, but it was still not great in that realm. And then I also had, there was one other thing that was bothering me. So I just moved to Xorg because I just didn't have any issues. So X11 just working really well for me with DWM because I can just kind of modify it as I want. Now, I understand this is kind of a fool's errand. Probably eventually everything will switch to Wayland, but I'm just not 100% certain that that's actually going to happen. So, yeah, like, I think Synergy's now Wayland compatible for the most part, but Wayland has some weird security features where X11's much more open. It can be a positive and a negative. It's a little bit of a double-edged sword. So, yeah, I guess that's about it. Escape for Tarkov? I don't even know. I've never played Tarkov. Let's see. Proton DB, escape from Tarkov. Ooh, bronze. Usually not good when it's bronze. Battle eye changes require some tinkering. Oh, dude. Yeah, let's see. Gotta change a registry key. There's a Lutra script. And then manually create a BE service in wine. Ooh. Ouch. Damn. I'm surprised he didn't just bundle all that up. Yeah, that could be fixed. Probably. This could be bundled into a reg file and injected that way. Lutris. Might be able to make something for the Tarkov folks out there. Let's see what else we got. Does anyone play Tarkov anymore? Good question. Isn't SteamOS Wayland? Yeah. SteamOS is Wayland. Do Wayland and NVIDIA play nice together now? I have had mixed results. Isn't the game infested with cheaters? I mean, all the games are infested with cheaters at some point. Yeah, but, you know, I've had a good time. Most anti-cheats are varying levels of success. There's no one that actually does a great job. Windows will block Chrome from being installed. I haven't run into that yet. I actually use Chrome, so no issues there. Here, let's just try it out real fast. If you're having that problem, you shouldn't. Yeah, I haven't seen too much on Arc Raider side of things, but I kind of suck at the game, so maybe I'm just not good enough to see the cheaters. But I haven't had anything where I'm like, oh, that's cheating. Although I'm a little bit of a psychopath in Arc Raiders, a little bit of a rat. I'll just snipe people from afar in solos when you're not supposed to really do that. What can I say? I'm not as nice of a guy as you thought. Yeah, Linux stream boots up Windows. uh... Yeah, the kernel level anti-cheat's a fallacy. Most people think it's like, oh, it's gonna fix everything. I'm like, no, no. Cheaters will always find a way. That's just how it goes. Of course, you sniping people when they scream, don't shoot. You'll know. It's fun. Doing good, Zero. Just looking at, like, gaming issues that people were having. Let's see. What do we have on this guy? Do we even have... I think this was... Oh, oops, my bad. I didn't run into any Chrome problems. It's 25H2. We'll download Chrome. We can reinstall real fast just to see. Try the traditional way. Probably just something with your system. Some people kind of do some crazy stuff with their Windows system to try and make it better. And it usually just ends up poorly for them, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, no problems here with that.
Yeah, well, the dude abides.
Oh, the latest versions are a little bit more problems, Gabby. Man, that sucks. I've gone through hell and back, needing to flash my BIOS to overcome it. There not being something useful yet. Any chance for a UEFI bootkit detector? Man, I struggle with the modern BIOSes. And this is a little bit of a rant, but modern BIOSes have been bloated up with a bunch of spyware, essentially. You have, on the Intel side of things, Management Engine. On the AMD side of things, God, I forget what the hell it's called, in like CRB or something like that. I can't remember exactly the terminology for their out-of-band. But there's just so much crap in both AMD and Intel that it's just not needed. Now, there is a project out there that is LibreBoot, I think it is. There's LibreBoot. What's the other one? I think there's OpenBoot, I think was the other one. I can't remember. Or CoreBoot distribution. So LibreBoot's here, but it's very limited in obviously like old ThinkPads, but only specific models of ThinkPad. I think the ThinkPad that most people wanted was, oh God, what was it? I had a version of it, but it wasn't the right version. So I wanted to do a Core or a LibreBoot because it'll boot your system in like seconds. There's no reason for that BIOS to take 10 or 15 seconds to go. It's just awful. And a lot of it is like the advanced graphics, sure, but there's all that spyware and stuff that modern BIOS load in the background. And really to flash a BIOS, it's very difficult. As far as CoreBoot goes, I think this is an awful website. God bless, who made this? It's like a second grader. Anyways, I'm sorry. For end users, let's see. What do we have? Do we have a list? System 76 has some CoreBoot installs. So System 76 does, Star Labs does. I don't know any of these other ones. Purism doesn't have the best track record, so I wouldn't recommend them. Yeah, probably Star Labs and System 76 have the best track records out of anybody if you wanted to buy a system with CoreBoot in it. Which CoreBoot basically essentially strips out like Management Engine and all the really nastiness you get with modern systems. So it's something, but you do pay a premium for that convenience. Yeah, there's spyware in all BIOSes. Like, there's no BIOS that's clean these days. AGES, no, AGES is a different thing that runs on AMD systems. AMD systems are one of the... Not a huge fan of them, even though they're the best bang for the buck right now from just performance to dollar ratio. But AGES does require you to... I'm just saying that wrong too. But it does require you to update your BIOS fairly often, probably once every 6 months or so. Yeah, you can kind of disable the features, but not really. They still load. You know, modern corporations need that level of spying capability on all users. Pretty much anything these days. AMD PSP, that might be it. Yeah, the AGES is another binary that's kind of closed source. AMD, is it PSP? No, that's another form, like TPM chips and stuff. AMD's version of Intel ME. What is the equivalent? I can't remember. No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's PSP. And then you have the TPM bullshit too, where people are like, oh, TPM. It's like gamers thinking they need ray tracing. You've all been sold a... They've been sitting on a throne of lies, and you've all been sold a bag of goodies. Just a Trojan horse sitting on everybody's system. Does Lego's Bio have this kind of spyware? If you go back 15 years, no BIOSes really had this. Even 15 years, ME started really popping off. I think it was during the Intel V Pro era. This would have been, I think, 3rd gen the I series. So shortly after Haswell, and that's when they started bundling these out of band type setups where you can modify and get into people's systems without actually needing to load the operating system. Yeah, so I mean, it's just, you should just know about it. There's not much you can do about it, but you should just know that, hey, that exists. Yeah, it looks at everything. It just sucks. I mean, it's one of those things. But I mean, CoreBoot does exist. There are alternatives, but you have to kind of go with an older system. Which, I mean, it's not that bad. Yeah, MBR is actually legacy sin. So MBR is like only 16 megs, and it's just like a boot record. So it's not that big a deal. As far as EFI, that's not that big a deal. I really like how EFI is structured for booting specific operating systems, so it's not that big a deal either. But the spyware in BIOS is more Intel ME management engine and AMD's PSP are the two things I'm talking about. If you're interested in that type of thing, you can look at it. The two projects I know that kind of rip those out, or at least gimp them to the point where they don't work, is CoreBoot and LibreBoot, which I just showed. So just something that popped in my head while we were sitting here chatting. But I really don't like it. I don't really like it. I recently get to know that the CPU inside the CPU, or at least for Intel AMD, yeah, sometimes you can get kind of tinfoil hatty here. The computer side of things, I'm not that concerned about. Like I said, if you're really concerned, look at those two projects I just mentioned. The TPM stuff, I'm not a huge fan of, but I get it for encryption purposes. But I don't know. I just feel like it was a solution for a problem that was created by big tech. Yeah, so that's the downside with that. I think probably my bigger gripe than how modern BIOSes are set up is just appliances in general. Like your microwave, your toaster, your refrigerator, your dishwasher. They all have like Wi-Fi capabilities, and the amount of data they send is just kind of insane. Sometimes they require accounts to set up now and function. It's just dirty and gross, and I hate that. It's like having subscriptions for your car. Like you can subscribe to have heated seats, and I think it was BMW that did that. They're just what are we doing? Are we going to just allow corporations to do that? Because it's just wrong. Like, why would you ever buy that? Somebody out there's doing it because they're just keep putting that crap out. So I'm like, ugh. But yeah, I hate IoT. What do you think about the conspiracy theory that memory GPU manufacturers colluding with big tech to purposely constrain availability of components and eventually kill compute, force everyone to rent it from the cloud? I don't think that's necessarily it, you know. Usually the simplest explanation is the correct explanation. So I think a lot of people are kind of over-engineering that. I would say this. Why? I think they just saw from a financial side of things. Hey, we're constrained on supply right now. We could constrain the supply even more and then make half of what we're doing, but charge 3 or 4 times more. So our profits go up 4 or 5x while also ripping off the consumer market. Why wouldn't you do that? It's not like governments care about the people. And, you know, I don't want to get too crazy with that, but I just, you know, it just looks like a blatant ripoff of the average consumer. Just colluding. This is what happens when you have so many monopolies. You only have 2 or 3, and it only takes them getting together, you know, flying their private jets, meeting up at some location and going, hey, man, hey, what about you increase your prices 4x? I'll increase mine 4x, or I'll even get out of the market, and you could just pay me on the back end. I'll just make stuff for the data center, and you can buy that up, and then we all win. We all get to charge 4 or 5 times more money, and we don't even have to do as much work. If you were in their position, and you were a greedy little goblin, what would you do? It seems pretty simple. I think just standard supply and demand, and that's what's happening. And part of that is artificial. Oh, let's see. What are you doing in today's live stream? Linux stuff,
Yeah,
probably.
well,
trying to.
The dude abides.
Dennis, thanks for the tier 1, man. Windows 11 LTSC gaming good. Yeah, Tom. I really like, if you're going to go with, if you have to be on Windows, I definitely recommend LTSC. I think that's the way to go. 100%. Is it recommended? So it depends on what type of gamer you are. Like, I think there's 3 camps of gamers that we need to talk about. There's the gamer that's just addicted to everything from Battlefield to Call of Duty to they just buy everything, right? And that gamer will probably play Windows Store games or Microsoft controlled games that are on the Steam Marketplace or externally. So those gamers probably not, because they will literally buy anything. And there's going to be some Microsoft games that will be like Game Pass and stuff like that. The Game Pass people out there that are just doing the monthly BS to Microsoft, you should just praise your Microsoft overlords. Keep giving them the monthly fee as it rises. Every single year, you're going to pay a little bit more and not own anything. So you sheeple, you're stuck. You're stuck on what Microsoft dictates to you. And it's just, your life's just going to continually get worse. I can't help you. The second person that likes to play most games, but they have a little bit of a backbone, and they're going to go, hey, I will only play stuff on Steam or independent launchers, and I won't play through the Microsoft Store, and I won't do Microsoft or Xbox Game Pass subscriptions. You, I can't help. Yes, IoT is a great solution for you. You know, for the interim, you'll have about 5 years left of gaming on Windows before that's just untenable. But by that time, we should have more options, and you'll have probably a better escape hatch, so to speak. So I think right now for that gamer, which I think is most people, you will go, okay, boom, I'll stay on LTSC for probably 4 or 5 more years, or until it just completely goes bust, and then transition to whatever's there, whether that's a Steam box or whatever you're going to go with here in 4 or 5 years. Nobody knows what that looks like, but I totally think that's it. That's what you're going to probably go to. I think that's most people. I would say that's most gamers. I think for some of the console games, kind of what I did, and the third gamer, I would say, is kind of where I reside, where it's like I really want it to work on Linux. But I also play a lot of games. And my compromise is a little weird because I really just don't like playing any games on Windows anymore. But I still like playing a lot of games. So there's a couple games here and there that I want to play. Like, I think my buddy wanted to play Battlefield. And I was like, oh, God, I just can't. I just can't with the kernel level anti-cheat. It's like Valorant or League of Legends. You're just dead to me. I can't do that. So my compromise was, I think I was like Chikari? Chiaki? God, I'm just butchering it. This thing. Let's see if it even works. Yeah. So what I would do is usually just get like a controller, launch into this. This is PlayStation Remote. So you still have to do a console if you want to play those types of games, and that's kind of my thought process. So I would do that. It would go ahead and remote into the system. It might not be online. I might have turned it off, or it might have had like a power surge or something. But that would launch right into there, and then you could play your game remotely through controller, which is not the best solution for some, but it's good enough to where it expands kind of like the really nasty games that I don't like playing on PC anymore, like Battlefield, I think was the big one. Best alternative to Gmail. Man, gosh. Dude, I think Google, maybe? Oh, there's just not many good options for email. You got Gmail, you got Office 365, you have... God, it's either Microsoft or Google, really. If you want to host your own and use like a pass-through service, something like Spam Hero into like a mail cow setup, if you really want to go down that rabbit hole, you could. But yeah, privacy and email, it's kind of a joke. That would probably be my solution. Self-host, do that with pay like $5 a month for some mail bagging and some front-end filtering, and then push that to a server. I think is the best way to go. Yeah, because I mean, whether it's Proton, 10-minute mail, someone said in chat, all these other ones, what are you doing? Like, you're just trusting another company that's gonna end up betraying you. Let's just be real. It's very much like a Batman type situation. They either die the hero or they get big enough to be the villain. And that's just kind of where we're sitting. And maybe I'm just really jaded. I'm feeling very jaded this morning. Sorry, guys. But I do like to give some solutions. And that's kind of where I feel current email sits. Now, you do have to have some basic... you gotta have some more intermediate knowledge, I would say. Like, I think a lot of people don't even understand SPF, DKIM, and DMARC. So, like, SPF and DKIM, like, authenticates emails and makes sure it comes to proper locations and things get set up properly. DMARC's usually really badly explained, and I don't think there's actually an internet video out there. I probably should make one, but DMARC essentially just tells spam and people trying to spoof your address what to do. So if it doesn't match your SPF or DKIM, DMARC will say, what do you do with this? Do you do nothing? Do you quarantine? Or do you reject the email? Most people don't even set up a DMARC record. And if they do set up the DMARC record, they usually set it up wrong. Typically, I would always set up the DMARC with a reject, a hard reject directly every time, after making sure that that DKIM and SPF is set up correctly, of course. So I do recommend like a reporting service for at least a couple weeks. Make sure you got all that lined up and then set up a proper reject DMARC policy. And then you're going to have a really good time with your email. That's how I do my email. But DMARC, not K. So probably saying it wrong. Somebody's spamming? Some of the mods took it, right? Yeah, Cloudflare does have some good documentation. I do like that. Not always true. Gmail and other providers, Gmail and O365, you can set up an independent one as long as you're good at setting up all those things I just said. They'll accept your emails just fine. You won't have any issues if you set it up properly. Most people, though, especially in the Linux realm, they kind of know how to set up stuff, but a lot of times they won't use an authority or they'll spam too much, or they'll get on block lists. There's just so many nuances to email that most people don't know. Now, I used to be an on-prem Exchange admin back in the day, probably 15 plus years now. So I know a lot about email, and there's certain things that you can do to abuse an address that would get you blacklisted, and that's not good. You got to make sure you don't do those things, like spamming. I think it's 70 plus addresses on one send can really screw up an entire domain. So like if you're going to do like a newsletter or something like that, you're going to want to pay a service like Amazon SES and then do it that way. That's what I personally do. For my newsletter, which has, I think it's like 14,000 recipients now. So there's quite a bit on that newsletter that goes out, and I pay, I think it's like $2 a month, something like that, to send that many emails. So Amazon's the way to go. Some people use like MailChimp and God, what is it? SendMail, not SendMail, it's Mailgun, and there's a couple others out there, but they're ungodly expensive now. Like, it's weird that the normies of the world has to just submit to this. I mean, the markup and margin for these services are like 90-something%. It's insane. If the services are actually set up by someone that knows what they're doing. I'm not certain that's the case. They might have some really convoluted infrastructure, and they might have massive cost overruns. But if they actually had someone knowing what they're doing, they're going to pay almost nothing and be able to charge just insane rates. Because I think to send, last time I looked at having a third-party service do my newsletter, it was over $500 a month. And that's insane. And when I can pay just SES and do it for $2 a month, kind of insane. Would you recommend Fudo's guide to self-hosting? Yeah, Fudo's guide's great. I would recommend that. I think I mean, he did all right with it. I think that's the best average man's guide to self-hosting. There's some things I would be like, oh, I'd probably do this differently. But I mean, it was a good enough guide. I think he did a better job than any other guide out there. I think he did a good job kind of putting it all in one area to get you started. Yeah. Yeah, most of them kind of trap you with the free tier with 1,000 mails or less, and once you get over that 1,000 mails, the it grows exponentially. So yeah, what are you gonna do if Discord, Steam, Inserts Game starts requiring to hand over your ID to user services? Just go straight to games that don't do that. Don't give them your money. That's the big thing. So GOG is a great way to be completely independent of Steam. I don't see Steam doing the ID handover to use services. At least while Gabe's alive. Once Gabe passes, that's when I'm like, ooh, Steam might go downhill. But with him in charge, he's still a visionary, and he's done a very good job with leading Steam into a really great future, I think. But yeah, handing over an ID to play a game seems silly. So I would stay with like DRM-free games from Good Old Games, and those can get launched without a launcher and completely independent of any DRM stuff. How many Twitch mods do you have? I have no idea. A lot of times I just see bad messages and just ban them myself, but there's probably a couple there. One. Probably true. I think Rux and Calum, maybe? I don't know. Something like that. Probably should get more, but we usually have a pretty good crowd. Nobody really abuses things too bad. Yeah, but I did switch over to buying only GOG games when it's available. I agree with that, James. I've been building out my GOG library as well because I'm just not sure of the future of Steam once Gabe leaves, because it is proprietary. It is one location, and you got to do whatever Steam says, and I don't like that necessarily, especially in the future. Right now, I guess it's okay, but I'm wary of it. Yeah, I kind of like to do most of my stuff in-house, though. Oh, yeah. Adam's probably a mod. I haven't seen Adam in a bit, though. I wonder who's buying Call of Duty games these days. It's kind of insane. All right. I did want to look at VS Code a little bit. Ooh, actually, I need to send this. This was what I wrote right before stream. We needed to... Oh, I need to take this script and put it in Twitch Tools. I haven't used that repo in a long time. I think it's Twitch Tools. Ah. Oh, what was the changes? Alright, already up to date. And let's just go and grab that one. Twitch Tools. Yeah, I had a countdown timer. I just wanted to make sure. I get that. Countdown timer. Because inevitably what happens is I wipe out my computer and it'll lose everything that's not on GitHub. So I just put up all my scripts, anything I do for the computer on GitHub. Sometimes people actually correct my scripts too. Or sometimes they just snatch whatever appeals to them. So that's good. Would you recommend Win 10 or Windows 11 at this time? Probably Windows 10, 2022, LTSC, IoT Enterprise Edition would be my recommendation at this point. Oh my gosh. I gotta ban Twitch chat again. Or YouTube chat. YouTube chat always gets out of control. I don't know why. They're crazy. Oh, yeah, but anyways, that's my recommendation for Windows. Let's go, probably go linutil again. Let's pull that. Where are we at on linutil? It's been a minute since I did that. Censorship. Ah, yes, the old censorship. Bro, I do this for fun. I'm not trying to be the world's policeman on people getting out of control and arguing in chat. I ain't about that life. I'm just like, ban. Not doing it. When I see something in chat, I'm like, I don't like it. Yeah, I'm just gonna go sub only on that chat, not having to deal with it. Subs are usually cool. Most people are nice. YouTube always gets out of control for some odd reason, though. All right, let's go GitHub. And we're going to go linutil. Although I have been making some changes to DWM because I did run into some problems with some of the games. I tried to do like a lock mouse solution because I did have some issues with multiple screens and multiple systems. I think specifically with like screen panning in like Age of Empires, or it popping out of the stream during like some FPS. But I think I pretty much resolved most of that. If you want a game with a shooter that has death consequences, I thought Arc Raiders really strike the good balance there. Ernix, thanks for the YouTube membership. Yeah, I'm trying to do the same kind of tool for Linux. Slowly been getting there. I've been building out certain things as like the gaming setup. Whenever I run into a specific setup thing, like for most of it though is Arch. If you're not on Arch or an Arch-based distro like Kashi or Manjaro or something like that, a lot of the scripts probably a little out of date because I don't keep up with Debian or a lot of the other ones that are in here. So it's kind of like dependent on the community. But most people are in an Arch-based distro these days, I think. Yeah, this is DWM. I still love DWM. I'm just kind of an old man at this point. I'm just like, it works. It never breaks on me, and I just liked it. What don't you like about extraction games? I think Tarkov was just a little bit too hardcore, and I think it was more of an inventory management game of anything else. You know, I used to think Fedora for stability and Arch for play, but these days, man, Arch has been just so solid for me. Like, when I pull it up, I mean, we're almost 600 days into Arch, and you know, I haven't really had any problems. Although, I wonder where this Omarchy's still at. Let's look at that. Is that like hard coded in, I wonder? Kernel. Oh, it's hard coded in. That's why. We could grab... Oh, we could do something kind of fun. We could grab version, instead of going to an out null. I wonder. I want to set up something cool. We're going to steal some of Omarchy's code here. But let's go. Oh, no. DWM Titus. .3. So let's go with a .0. I think that would be fun. Let's change that out. I'm gonna grab this. Omarchy has some fun stuff in it where it's just like, oh, that's cool. I like it. I think we can go 2dev no, and then make a new DWM Titus. So then when we open it up, there we go. Oh, we should have called this Omitis, not Omitis, since I've stolen some of the weird DWM stuff. Let's do it. Let's just to be fun. Let's just go into it. Omitis. We're just gonna call it Omitis 0.3. We probably should make a new revision release for DWM Titus. What do we got? Ooh, are we up to date? Oh, that's right. I changed the Proton restart script because I wanted to completely kill certain processes. I think I was having hangups when I was modding World of Warcraft. And also, I think Arc Raiders, I was doing some mods. They didn't like some of the startup scenes and some of the transition scenes I thought were just a little excessive. They're cool like the first couple times, but then I was like, ooh, I need to mod that out. Maybe we mod out a couple Arc Raider stuff here. Change that in the DWM, the Linux script, and then DWM Titus. Let's just change that really fast. I think the reason why I love DWM so much, I know some people are like, come on, Titus, what are you doing? I think the reason I love it so much is I can just change anything. If I don't like how anything works, I can just change it. And I love that power. There's nothing better than just being able to change anything in the world I want. All right. All right, we're still using DWM 6.6, which I think is still the latest. Let's double check that. Let's go sockless. What version are we on? DWM. Yep, 6.6. We're up to date. DWM git. No, DWM. There should be a git. So that's the binary, but I like to look at the Git. Anytime they do a patch to the official DWM, I usually just import it using like a Git diff. I did an article on it on my website, christitus.com, about it. Let's go reset. Yeah, here it is. Git.sucklist DWM. So bump version to 6.6. So there's been a couple ones. Make refresh rate for mouse move, resize a config option, clean schemes and controllers, and then DRM call free inside. So typically what I do when I see something like this, I'm like, okay, this came out. We're doing refresh rate 120. And I think we actually added this. Refresh rate, I think, is already there. Let's look. Where are you at, DW? Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Did we have refresh rate? Yeah, so refresh rate's there. I already did this patch. So that patch is there already. We can double check this. I'm kind of curious just to make sure I grab the right patch. Let's grab DWMC. Interesting. So I don't see refresh rate used. Let's look at the move mouse. So move mouse function right here. Where's refresh rate used? I don't think it is. So if you look at handler break motion notified, there should be an EV motion time after that. So here's motion notified under the case. Here's EV motion. And there's refresh rate. Okay. Refresh underscore rate. And this one's refresh rate. Oh. It's a little different than the official one. It's not wrong. But if you look, it's under this. So I added this patch before the official repos did it. Resize mouse right there. And then you have the declaration under default page. Oh, but I put it somewhere else under resize mouse too. So you have resize mouse, move mouse, place mouse. So place mouse isn't even referenced here. Interesting. So when I patched this, I did it in one more function. Who's right? The official team? Probably. They're much more seasoned than I. All right, clean up color schemes. Huh. I like it. Let's see if we can't grab this commit. Can't remember exactly how I did it. Let's look up here. Yeah, patching programs with forks. So typically, go to the repo that's ahead of the project you want patched. You can format it with the SHA. So if we look here, I'm going to just see if... this will probably fail because I've patched the living hell out of my DWM. But I do like how this is set up. So let's just go copy link. Pull this down. Then we're going to extract the patch. So we're just going to go copy. And then we're going to grab the commit SHA. So let's look at the commit SHA right here. DWM uses their own like Git service. They don't use GitHub or anything either. So then it makes the patch. And then if we look back here, we can check the patch. So we can go git apply. Let's move 001 patch to DWM Titus. All right. And then if we go git apply check 001 colors patch, it's going to fail at line 485 on the patch. So if we look at 485, which I think is down here, DWMC, yeah, 485. So when it does the for loop for the color scheme to draw it free, it's not quite holding up in the cleanup function. It's close though. So we're gonna do it with rejects. So we're gonna try and apply this. I know this is kind of off the rocker here. So we'll have that. You can see all the hunks that succeeded. But then for the for loop, we have a reject called, usually it's a .reject file, dwm.c reject. Uh-oh, did my Twitch go out? Oh no, Twitch is still there. I was getting a broadcast error. All right, well, if Twitch is still there, we're going to keep going. So we're going to go, it says DWMC at 400. It's under the cleanup rejection. So if you look at the rejects file right here, 485 cleanup void. We're just trying to remove this one and add this section right here. So let's go DWMC and we're going to go to cleanup. And oh, the for loop is length colors. So length color, where's the for loop for that? This is auto start, that's fine. Cursor, draw cursor free, and then you have the length colors right here. So if we look here, for length colors free, I think we can just get rid of that. Actually, let's look at that reject. Yeah, they put it in that for loop, and then you have the free. I wonder why they duplicate there, but not the way I would have done it, but that's okay. I'm probably wrong. Free scheme, but we also have this expected an expression. Interesting. Shouldn't you be at line 485? Yeah, you'd think, but you got to look at the functions. I've modified my DWM quite a bit, and instead of 45, we're actually at line 700 and something, because that's where this call happens. Instead of getting hung up on line numbers when doing like a patch on DWM, or let's say you're looking at someone else's code, look at the function you're in first, because if you look, we're in void, cleanup, void. And if you look at the rejection, you are in cleanup, void right here. And then above you have cleanup, monitor, mons, and then you have draw, cursor free. And you can see right where that is, you have cleanup, mons. And then there's some more systray patches here that don't exist in the official one. Then you have the draw, cursor free. Then you have our for loop that's added. So you can see there's quite a bit of patches that you kind of see what's going on. But always reference the function first. That way you don't go in the wrong function. Don't just blindly go to a line number. And then you can do your patch. Now, I do not know why. Why is it having a problem with this expression? We have the opening bracket and the closing bracket. What am I missing? That looks good. Oh, the plus. My bad. Oops. All right, so now we should be good. Now there is a couple other problems here. Identifier button 1 is unidentified. You have mod 4 and resize. We have quite a bit of other identifiers undefined. I think that's all from the config. Let's do a filter by show active file only. That's all I care about. Okay, cool. And then for this one, nothing is really added. So now we can actually test this by just going sudo make clean install. Ta-da! It compiles. All right, cool. So that's one patch. Let's see what other patches we have. And then we have a small patch here with DRMC, and then oh, they're also getting rid of this. Let's just do this patch manually. I don't want to get rid of that, so that's good. All right, so we're back here, and this time let's see, what was the patch? Yeah, we're getting rid of free scheme. I thought that was a little bit off. Even mentioned it. And then we just close that out. And that looks much cleaner. All right, perfect. So that's good. And then we have free SCM we need to add. It's in the drw.c around line 200 in drwsc free function. So let's go drwc. Should be around line 200-ish in the font free. Was it drw.scm crate? No, not the crate, but the free. drw.scm free, boom, right here. And then right after this, we're just gonna add the free SCM after we draw it clear free. on that for loop. So here's the for loop. And then we just do the free SC. Perfect. So we've done that patch. Let's delete that. And we will clean that up. And then we're all caught up to date. So we'll have all the latest updates done. And Bob is your mother's brother. Make, clean, install. Perfect. All right. Let's get rid of that. I think we already got rid of the rejects file. Did we not? Nope, it got deleted. I do not see it anywhere in here, so we're good to go. We're gonna do a commit here. Uh, 12. What is today? 16. 12, 16, 25. So then I know, hey, anything after this date, we should add the commit. So this is all good to go. And we should probably test it as well. Probably should have tested it before the commit, but such is life. I'm pretty sure we're good to go. I'm not missing anything. We'll do that. Close that. Let's give it a reboot. So I'm still using the basic Arch Linux script. Oh, I forgot to close my virtual machine for Windows. My bad. I think it actually closes it automatically. Oh no, it did. Yeah, shut down a guest W11 pass-through complete. All right, good stuff. But yeah, so I kind of just take the best of all worlds. Like the CachyOS kernel, Linux kernel, pretty darn good. I really, really like it. What's the last usable version of Excel without touching the cloud? I believe it was 2013 version of Excel. Yeah, so Microsoft Excel 2013 would probably be the best use case. I don't know how viable it is in today's market. I believe there's updates for Windows 10 compatibility. I'm not sure. I've never tried to install on Windows 11 though. 2016, I think, started getting a little dicey. It's 2016? Okay, 2016 then. Chat corrected me. Dual booted with Windows, planning on going mainstream on Linux. Ah, good to hear, man. It's a process. You know, a lot of Linux users love to say, oh, just switch to Linux, but then they don't anticipate how much of a power user. And some people just use their computer for a browser, right? Sure, those people can just switch to Linux. But as a lifelong Windows user of 20 plus years, the switch to Linux was a very painful and slow one for me. I dual booted. I still use Windows for some stuff in like a VM or a secondary hard drive. And, you know, I don't really boot into it as my main system much at all anymore. But it has been a very arduous, trying journey. But a very fruitful one. Like, I really love being on my system, pounding around, having fun. It's a blast. And I love the tinkering aspect of it all, to where if I don't want it to do like a certain thing, I just change it. Like, there's nothing that can't be changed. Like, just down to the absolute minute detail. Like when I switch an application or a workspace or a tag, whatever it is, and I want the mouse cursor to be exactly 75% of the screen in the middle, or maybe at the top, I can program that in. And it's like, having that level of control is both absolutely amazing and maddening at the same time, because a lot of people just don't know. You just don't know what you don't know, and you don't know how to change that. So it's kind of it's just kind of like one of those things, you know. All right, so we got minus 0.3, but now we need to increase that. What was the last time we did a release on DWM, Titus? I should have done a release. That's okay. Let's do a new tag and then probably create some kind of release for this. Oh, we have an outstanding pull request. Who's that from? Did I never merge this? Oh, no. Oh, that's right. I was changing a lot of my tags. I was working on a dual monitor on the inside PC with DWM. DWM and dual monitor can get a little bit funky. I forgot I was doing that. Let's go. Let's just merge that bad boy in there. Delete. Probably should have tested it out here though. Oh, I don't even need to remake DWM on this. It's all good. I will probably kill Polybar. I know, that's old school. All right. And then let's go with no hup. And we're going to go scripts. Ooh, Polybar actually. And I think there's a launch script I put in there. Yeah. Let's put an ampersand after that. Might be thinking, what the hell's no hup, Titus? No hang up signal. Basically means like I can quit out of this and then it just perpetually keeps going. So if it has anything, you could actually output this to something else, but it'll kind of keep it alive. So no hup's amazing if you're launching anything from your terminal and you kind of want to keep it going even far after you leave the terminal. So anyways, that works good. All right, gravy DWM. Sudo make clean install. That's great. I believe that should package up the tar file and we can do a legitimate DWM release now. So let's go DWM Titus releases. Let's create and draft a new release. We're going to create a new tag. We're going to call this 0.4. Great. Okay, cool. DWM. Ooh. Midas. Polybar integration. And EWMH with... a lot of people like to use Polybar incorrectly. And they do polling. Which polling, if you're not sure, it actually adds CPU cycles because it's running scripts like every second to populate the bar, which is absolutely awful. So I never do it that way. Everything should be done through signals. And that's kind of how I like integrated it. So like when DWM does changes to the window and it changes like this to this, and it kind of flips back and forth, instead of doing a poll to see that change, a signal happens. DWM says, hey, you switched. Let me send a signal to say you switch workspaces. And then Polybar interprets the signal and then automatically changes it. So it makes it very, very fast. So when you're running this, you'll notice the CPU is just sitting at 0%. There's literally nothing running. Just very, very little, except for desktop, which is essentially Discord without analytics or telemetry. It's still crappy, and Discord still is a greedy goblin with the CPUs, but at least it kind of compartmentalizes a little bit. But you can see, like, if we do, let's see if we can sort it by usage. We go 4. No. Tree, reverse. No. You'd think I'd have something better there. Yeah, well, whatever. With EWMH, and God, there was a ton of other patches. We're just going to go Omitis 0.4 release, and then let's populate those release notes. Oh, that mouse locking feature just was an absolute disaster. Polybar integration with signaling. No polling. For low to no CPU cost. We also did updated DWM Git to official patches as of 12/16/25, and probably there's some other crap in there I just don't even remember though. So let's go release. We got our DWM here. I kind of want to see what's in that zip file. Does it include everything? Oh, it just packages up DWM. It needs to package up more than that, actually. My bad. Let's change that make file. We gotta change our release. Whoop. So trying to think of the best way. I probably need to make like an install script for this as well. It's fine. We're still working. I'm still working on it. It's like a work in progress. Check back in 5 to 10 years when 99% of the population's using Wayland and I'm still using DWM. It might be perfect by that point in time. But probably not. Wow, it's just like a never-ending struggle with me. It's kind of funny. Anywho. All right, that's close. I like what it's trying to do here. Yeah. These folders need to be added to the tar as well for the release. So this should add maybe an rsync or a copy, RF, polybar, and scripts to release. should be good. All right, good. Should we go Midas instead of DWM? That's pretty funny. Nah, we'll just leave it DWM. Who cares? Alright, that looks good. Now we have a functional install and release make. Just double checking, make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, no, we're missing more. 1 second. Yeah. Missing the release file. That needs to go in there for the desktop install. Then xinitrc. I think I'm not even using xinitrc anymore. Oh, nope, I am using xinitrc. My bad. All right, 1 second. One more thing. Is that xinit dot xinit? All right, we'll grab that. Anything else that's happening during the install process? We got our polybar. We got our scripts. The prefix, how's that being defined? Okay, make directory destination prefix bin. Where's the definition of prefix coming from? I guess that's going to be .local. And instead of guessing, let's change it from agent. Let's ask. Explain how prefix is defined and what the value would be. Yeah, makefiles kind of suck, but I mean, nice thing about AI is it does a pretty decent job with them. And it's relatively easy to read as long as you understand what the hell it's doing. Yeah, so home.local, no sudo needed. Common prefix values, which would typically resolve the bin. I don't like that. I think you should define dest directory and prefix in the man file. Okay, so under config.make, it's set on there, destination. Okay, so then if you look in here, yeah, so USR local is the prefix where it's getting assigned. All right. Yeah, I missed the .mk file. It's like, where the hell's that coming? So then it installs there. Good. As far as the make down prefix, the scripts goes to here as well. I almost want that to go into like a local prefix instead of system-wide. Because if you look, that prefix will go to user system resources local. I almost kind of want that to go to a home prefix for those scripts. In case someone wants to change them, they easily change them without using sudo. Yeah, nah, it's fine. Let's sudo make install that, fix up that. And then we open up that zip file and we should be good. All right, and then we have all of that. We got our scripts all dumped into that scripts folder under USR, which is great. And I'm trying to think. That's good. Do I have any leftovers from this? Oh god, I think I do. Web app create. And then if we go USR, a local bin. Yeah. All right. I'm just cleaning up my stuff. I think I'm gonna have to update more. Most of this is PipX, so we're actually okay. What the hell's Titus Windows? What did I make that binary for? We'll remove that as well. Create web app launch. All right. Now just kind of cleaning up that, and then let's config.h this. Yeah, so when we launch these, the polybar launch, I think, actually gets added to sudo user .config polybar launch. So instead of this, it should be .config and polybar launch. Trying to make it just more universal, so if anybody actually does want to try and use this project, they'd have a somewhat of a fighting chance of getting it working. Mate authentication. Do I have the Mate poll kit even working? Those are good questions. .config Rofi power menu. Okay, yep. All that's universal. XDG standard. Yeah. Oh. Okay. So we have the make file, the config file. That's good. What else we got? Okay, Peter. I know. I like it. All right. There you go. Sorry. I forget what this walls Python script. What the hell did I make that for? Same with weather. I think I messed that up, but that's okay. Oh, probably just a placeholder for a future release. All right. Now we are looking so good. So very, very good. All right, so then we have all that in place. Everything looks good. God, do I need to relaunch this all? Part of me wants to just YOLO it. I'm sure someone will let me know if it doesn't work. Let's open that. We should see the new files. So under release, open with Xarchiver. That's not right. What? And that tar, I don't think is actually working. Oh, I see what's going on. So during the install, that's what's happening here. If you look at the copy release, you have the mechanism right here. So if I was going to do a release, I should do that, but not here. Let's delete that. Actually, I think we're going to get that. I think something like that should be good. So you can do a sudo make release or just a make release and then grab it here, or you can just do sudo make clean install and then it's going to make everything. I don't know about making the release here though. This seems, I don't think people are going to want that. Now, so let's just get rid of this. All right. So we'll just do the tests. You have your install, so we have all that. Yes, that's perfect. And then for our release, we're just going to do that. So when I want to make a release, I'll just do that. No reason to make the release every single time I make the dang binary. So we'll do our copy, grab all this, and then bundle it all up. Tar, release, DWM, polybar, scripts. But shouldn't we DWM dot desktop x init rc polybar scripts? Okay, so we got DWM desktop, x init rc, polybar, and scripts all getting bundled up in that tar. And now your pants are blue. Sudo make clean. Sudo make clean release. So then it would bundle all of that up into the release folder, throw it into the archive, and then if we go into release, we have this, which shows everything that's in the release that the user will get. And we open this up. Ta-da! Everything is there and looking so very, very good. So awesome sauce. And now let's say we delete this entire release, right? Let's just move it to trash. Yes. Oh, it's I don't have permissions. We'll do a RF release. And then if we go make clean install. So cool. Perfect. And then if we want, we can make a clean release as well. Nice. And then if we go get status, you just have the modified make file. Fix make file. And now when people do the full compilation, it'll install everything exactly where it should be in the system. Yeah. Genius. So we'll upload this. Now, the version 6.6 is actually off. Right now, we'll probably change this to like an Omitis release, and we'll have to do our own versioning. For now, I guess we'll keep it. Nah, let's fix it. Now, earlier in the day, we fixed our fast fetch, right? We were stealing something from the old DHH's Omarchy. And what we're going to do here, we're just going to snag this guy, right? And then let's change that release file. So we have our release file here, but the version that is set, if we look, the config version is 6.6. So it's hard coded in here for the version, but we can do better. Do I want to manually set this? Can we just do like a... I kind of like it. Describe tags. Let's put 0.1. And then instead of DWM as the prefix, which, do we define that in our .mk anywhere? I'm getting a little bit in the weeds here, but it's going to be worth the payoff. So when we describe that, it's actually done DWM here. So then we go Omitis. So then we'll have our own version of DWM. It's kind of funny. Sudo make clean release. And then you should have Omitis 0.3. But we're not on the 0.3 release. But the version we're on right here is, because we haven't done the 0.4 release. Okay. That makes sense. So we'll just hard code it. Boom. Perfect. So we'll actually have our first kind of functional release. Publish that. And we got our alpha. Oh, crap. I forgot about that. The power menu does not display on less than 1080p. Probably should fix that. Anyways, yeah, that's fine. Perfect. All right. Thanks for hanging in there, chat. Sorry, I'm just kind of all over the map. So I was working on that. Let's see. But it's kind of cool, right? Did I miss anything? Oh, the video. Yeah, Caleb. When I opened the stream up, I can't do it. I didn't set anything up. We had some technical difficulties. Is HTTP3 fallback for web standard? HTTP3? I don't know. I don't know enough about that. I'm not much of a web developer kind of guy. More of an offline infrastructure kind of guy. I should know that, though. I just don't. Make sure it's fixed for Thursday. Yeah. I need to. I gotta download some backgrounds. Gotta download some internal Microsoft Office stuff. Like, to get it set up properly for the full-blown video. We're gonna need some, like, Microsoft Office background images. No. We could just go... These are virtual backgrounds. No, this is actually pretty funny. That's awesome. We could use that with like the little co-pilot in the background. I like that. That'll make for a good video background. Let's fix that up, shall we? Let's go streaming on this one, right? We'll toss this here. Let's change that up a hair. What window manager is this? This is Omitis, aka DWM. It's an oldie but a goodie. No frills. Works great. Can't complain. All right, let's go scale image. Let's go 1080. This looks a little too wide. Looks very AI-ish. Let's fix that. No, that's 1080. What do we got? Oh, man, we need a picture of Bill Gates sitting on the ground. Bill Gates jumping over a chair. That's just going to tie it all together, don't you think? Bill Gates jumping over chair. Oh, perfect. Do we have a... I think we're gonna get this image. We're gonna go file, create. Sorry, we're going wild today. But we gotta get this ready for the big leagues here. We needed some upscaling on this. Let's bring it into the 21st century, shall we? Oh, yeah. We're gonna make fun of them. We gotta at least do it right. Let's export this. Gauge, yeah. What does everyone like to use for upscaling these days? It's been a minute. Ooh, you know what? I think I have something. 1 second. I think I paid for a subscription on something. I hate subscriptions. But damn it, I ended up buying something. They kind of screwed me. But all right, here we go. Yeah, we're gonna try it out. The open art, I think, is what I've used. Oh wait, I know I'm not signed in. 1 second. Oh. Oh, no, I do. Okay, I got it. All right, let's go. All right, that did work. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our image and we're going to upscale that 90s image of him jumping over a chair. We need it to be HD. I don't know if that's even going to work, huh? Oh, I need the PNG. Just Linux things here. Can we do a... This generation, but can we select an image? No. How the hell does this thing work? Talk about a crappy interface. I just want to upload this thing. This is why you should just... Oh, image guidance. Here we go. Sorry. Didn't see it. All right. And we're going to do an upscale, right? Can we upscale this thing? Image upscale. Nice. Let's go ultra. Then let's grab that. Upscale. Let's see what we get. Joe Rogan mocked Bill Gates and his lack of fitness when he told people not to eat meat. That's pretty funny. That's pretty base too. Oh god. Yeah, Gates is the guy that invested, what is it, billions in the synthetic meat, the fake meat. He got like Mark Rober to like shill it for him in a video. I like Mark Rober, but that was kind of poor taste, I think. How does GIMP 3 compare to Photoshop? It's not great, but it is free and it's open source, so it's okay. I think most people prefer something with like built-in generation and AI features. And I think really you got to use Canva bought out Affinity Photo, and that's kind of still the best right now. But I worry about its future, so it's kind of like, you know. All right, so it's a little better, but not like... Can we go like ultimate upscale? A little less blurry. What's the ultimate upscale? Maybe let's try a creative upscale. Or refined. We're gonna go full creative. Let's go. Affinity, I think they might have, but they'll probably walk that back now that Canva bought them out. I doubt we'll ever see Affinity on Linux. The whole Winboat thing's interesting, but it's just RDP app. It's like a remote app from Citrix, essentially. So I'm kind of like, you know. Yeah, man. Oh, Bill Gates, he did buy up all our farms. A guy that doesn't eat meat owns most of the farms in America. That should just terrify every American right there. Unless you're a vegetarian, then maybe you don't care so much. AI is for lazy people. Real artists do it themselves. Agreed. But I am very lazy, and I'm not very much of a real artist. So we're just going to take what this gives us. I just need it for a painting in the background for a joke. That's pretty niche case, but you're about to see the magic. It's going to be great. I don't know if this one's free. I did a... I got conned into doing a year, so I don't really recommend them. But I already paid for it, so I'm like, screw it, I'm going to use it. They tricked me. You know how people do like the whole save 25% on yearly billing? But I wasn't paying attention when I went to checkout, and they got me on the yearly billing after I hit purchase. Gotta love modern software sales, man. I heard the UI is a mess in GIMP. It's not that bad. You get used to it. I'm kind of partial to the current design, but there's something called Photoshop GIMP, I think it is, and it redoes the UI to be more Photoshop-esque. So I personally have just stuck with the stock, and if you look back when I started my YouTube channel back in 2018, 7 years ago now, damn. A little over 7 years ago. It's kind of crazy to think about. But when I did it back then, it was kind of funny because those first 2 months, all I did was complain about how much GIMP sucked. So, yeah. For what outside AI does you need Photoshop instead of GIMP 3? I'm not an artist, so what I do is pretty basic, and oh, I like it. That's great. I think we're gonna use that one. AI took the foot and put it on the ceiling for old Billy Boy, and then made this guy look like a sad individual in the background, while keeping this lady right here, and then fixing the interviewer's face. That's just beautiful. All right, great. So we got that. Actually, let's just paste that guy in there. Save that. Paste this. There we go. A little opacity. We want to get, how much of the picture can we get in there? I think we can go about 60%. Scale layer. Let's go 400. Yeah, there we go. Alright, and then let's just do a little cutout. I know Photoshop people are already in the chat going, what the hell, Titus? This would have been so much faster to do it in Photoshop. I know. But I am not a dirty Photoshop user, so you're just going to have to deal with it. Deal with my paint skills here. Oh, what's going on here? Eraser. Oh, come on. Doesn't look like I'm doing anything, but trust me, it's gonna look magical when I'm finished. It's just the little touches that really make it. Yes. Oh no. Did I move it? I must have shifted it. Oh, come on. Alright, well, whatever. Just gonna go with just a hair. Yeah, let's go a little bit more than that. Ah, no, this is terrible, but that's okay. It's gonna be in the background. Don't like this on the side, though. What happened there? Oh, that's part of that. Oh, my bad. It's actually part of the painting. That's why it looked like that. That's okay. Let's stamp it. Probably like Titus and his GIMP. I know it looks bad right here, but trust me, it'll really fill in. Yeah, maybe not. No, no. Why does that look so bad? One second. I'm just going to do a little more feathering, a little more blend. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's an imperfect science here, guys. Just enough so it doesn't stick out. Let's remove that last bit. Good enough. We're going to call it that. Yes. Perfect. So then when you see it, you're like right there, you got the co-pilot, you got Bill Gates jumping a chair. It's amazing. People may get the joke, may not get the joke, but it's going to be great. Oh. Maybe we add some flames outside the window? I don't know. I think that's good enough for the background. What do you think? I think it's going to be great. You already put too much effort into it. This is true. It's like you just got to, you know what? It's good enough. All right. The AI apocalypse. Yeah. Oh, I think Coding Wonders. I might switch the script up a little bit, but he made something. Caleb asked about it earlier in chat. That's why I mentioned it. I think it was in the Discord server where we had. Oh, we had something. Oh, yeah, right here. So if we go into here, and I think it was under downloads. I already downloaded it a couple times probably. Yeah. So this is the script. Day in the life of a Microsoft engineer is what all that video, the whole setup for that would be. And then we walk through. I don't know how I'm gonna do this with Copilot. I think I'm gonna have to get one of the preview branches of Windows where you can speak to Copilot, and it's absolute disaster. And then I think it'd be funnier if we just did whatever it said and kind of riffed off of it. Uh-huh. I think we got to expand this a little bit. Bare bones. I think it's good, a good start to a script. But I got some ideas. Yeah. Hey, you can jump over chairs though, Peter. You know, not very many people can jump over a chair with 2 feet. A full chair. Oh, yeah. Probably do a robotic voice for Copilot. And then just have like a ominous avatar just kind of floating back there. Ooh, maybe I could even do an animation on the Copilot logo. I don't want to make it too involved, though. I kind of want it to be low grade. I feel like that would add more to the parody, and also I wouldn't have to do as much work. Less programming than programmers. I mean, they still employ some programmers, but yeah, it's kind of crazy. Exactly what we're up to. Yeah, the layer masks in GIMP, not really. That's, I think, the big thing. The problem with most things with GIMP is it's not really thought of or made by someone that actually does graphic editing. So, like, masking, a lot of the layer merges and other stuff's very destructive. I think I've heard other graphics designers tell me. So, most graphics designers kind of crap all over GIMP because it's just fundamentally flawed. I do think they added some version of a mask in version 3, though. So, but I mean, honestly, for me, I like GIMP more than anything. Once I've gotten used to it and I made those scripts to kind of just do the things I like to do in editing. So for hobbyists and other things, I don't see a point of using anything else other than GIMP because it's free. It's cross-platform. I can use it on Mac. I can use it on Windows. I can use it on Linux. And you never have to pay for it. It's great. So I absolutely love it. Oh, man. DRM. Yeah. How's Peter, you still rocking Streamlink using, oh god, what is that software I was using? Chatterino Streamlink. Oh, parody, I'm a Mac, I'm a PC. AI versus Clippy. Yeah. Oh god, old Clippy. I still love that. What was it? Louis Rosman doing the whole Clippy theme for Freedom on the Internet is like a silent sit-in kind of thing. I thought that was pretty funny. Good. Yeah, the UI from GIMP is hard to transition after using Adobe or Affinity. Agree, Sean. Like, the big thing, it took me like months. I did convert though. And I was a Photoshop user before GIMP, but this was 2018. And now we're on 2025, 7 years later. And I'm decent. I can do the transforms. I can kind of get around in GIMP, and I've scripted most things that I needed to be fast at, and I can kind of finagle things. And honestly, a lot of things I like to do in GIMP, like one of the really neat things that kind of makes my thumbnails kind of stand out, I thought, was, let's go GIMP. Like, one thing I love doing, let's just grab this back in. Like like let's say you do some font, and oh, this is a new bug. Built tiling never remembers the font choice. So let's say you go built tiling here, and testing Copilot fails. All right, so then you have this. One thing I like to do is, like, let's say you want to emphasize one word, you can kind of bring this down, increase this, take this, bring it up, and it can do it per letter, and it can make some really cool, like, designs in this respect, and it can do it relatively fast, where like Adobe and other stuff, it's like a learning curve, though. There's like little tiny shortcuts like that that can you know, just make and break certain use cases. So like you learn these little weird little tricks and stuff, and then when you go back to Photoshop or you use like Affinity, they can't do it like that, and then it ends up taking longer than if you just use GIMP. So there is a break even at some point. I have no clue when that was. Probably like a year in, 2 years in for me. And it's to a point now where I'm like, hey, GIMP worked great for me, and there's like a lot of little tips and tricks when I'm doing thumbnails or whatever that's just so much faster, and it's like, oh, this is great. So I don't mind it. Yeah, I hate monospace. I agree. JetBrains is amazing. Love JetBrains. Almost all the nerd fonts I like, though. Meslo is really funny. Cascadia Cove is amazing. There's so many good fonts, especially in the nerd font family, where it's just like, give me a nerd font and I'm just happy. Yeah, ScriptFoo is very complex now, and I remember going from version 2 to version 3 of ScriptFoo is an absolute mind F. So the GIMP team kind of hates users, in my opinion, because that version 2 to version 3, dude, I think we did it live on stream, and I think I spent like 4 or 5 hours doing those scripts. But I still use those scripts every single day for the past, year since I did that. And they've paid dividends, so I don't regret it. It was just like, what a massive change to upgrade those V2 scripts to V3, and damn, did it take forever. Now, maybe if I was more competent, it wouldn't have taken as long, but we got there in the end. That's all that matters. And it's not like I'm going to do a bunch of scripts every day. It's like, hey, I'll probably wait till V4 and they screw that up here in like 5 or 10 years. Probably have to still do it. Oh, yeah, I've seen the Plymouth script you did. It was like an all-in-one kind of script there, Zero. Yeah, users make everything more complicated. The cool thing about open source, I think, too, is like when you make a paid product that's proprietary, users become expectant on certain things, so that piece of software, the money almost makes it inflexible. So it means that a lot of times that software really can't rapidly change or progress, because you're going to piss off your user base, and the user base pays you, and it's in your best interest to get paid. So it's almost like a chicken and egg situation where a lot of open source software can just go wild. They can just do whatever the hell they want. They're not relying on you to get you to pay them. So you can just go crazy with open source, and if they don't like it, okay, that's fine. You're not paying me, so I'll just do whatever I want. And a lot of times that just leads to a lot of freedom, and you can kind of expand and really get to some cutting edge stuff that's amazing. But at the same time, does hurt, I think, just general users that need something very friendly that's been Q&A tested and just, or QC tested, and you have just tons and tons of proven product. So a lot of open source, I think it's a blessing and a curse, but it sure as hell is fun to develop on. I love open source just for the development aspect, but as a user, sometimes it's annoying. Fluffy, thanks for the tier 1, man. Yeah, a waiver of liability, not having a warranty to come with open source. That's another thing. Like, yeah, it could just completely break your shit. So, you know, it can totally happen. There's nobody to go pound on a door somewhere, or good luck. They don't really care if you do. So it's kind of cool. But I really like how it's neat. Like, there's certain open source models I think that do it really well. Blender does it great. I always lean back to like how old id Software did things, you know, with Quake. I thought how they did open source the engine, but all the assets were locked behind a paywall. I think that was great. So there's certain ways to do it really well. I think the thing that makes me mad in the Linux community, where they just, one, I think a lot of times they are too demanding on the open source devs, but two, a lot of the Linux folks think you can do this software as support model where you give away all the software, but you paywall the support. I think this is a terrible model. I think it's a broken model. I don't think it works. And I think it's a fallacy to think that that is sustainable long term. Like, I know some people are like, oh, look at Red Hat. Red Hat got bought out by IBM, and they've done some pretty shady stuff in the past several years. So I don't think it's a great bastion to look at and go, oh, look at them. No, not really. So I think there's ways to do it where it makes sense. And I think for me personally, like me using open source and making some money would be the Windows Toolbox. Like, it's completely open source. You can just run it. It's a PowerShell script, but some people just want it to be easy and an executable. So I charge for the executable, and it's a way to kind of fund development, so I don't just abandon Windows. And I think that's a good way of doing it. I don't think it's sustainable from a company perspective, though. Like, I don't make enough money from that method to really just say, hey, I could just hire people to help develop it. So yeah, I think there's a certain way of doing things. I think selling assets for certain products works for like games and other things where you can open source parts of it. But for a solo dev, something like that would work for me. But I don't think that would work for many, where they want to get completely paid for all their work and you can't really open source it. But the benefits that I see from it, besides monetary from doing it this perspective, is you have a lot of people looking at your code, and that makes better code. And a lot of times I get a pull request that I'm like, wow, that's a great idea. Sometimes I merge it. Sometimes I'm like, it was a great idea, just poorly implemented, and I just have to change a few things. But as a solo guy, just on my own, doing my own thing, open source is just the only thing I would ever consider. I would never, I don't think I would ever do really proprietary unless it was just like a one-off for like some fans or something. But I don't know. It's hard to do. Just thinking out loud though. Why would I want to write code and support customers? Facts. Customers suck, but you need them. You know, that's a catch-22 there, right? What's your opinion of Proxmox? I love Proxmox. It's amazing. Can we expect a Linux tier list at the end of the year? Oh, damn, we totally should do a Linux tier list. You guys want to do a Linux tier list right now? We can do a Linux tier list. All right, let's do a Linux tier list. I think we can, what, Tier Maker probably is still around. I'm all for the low effort content. Ooh, you know what? I think I still have my old tier list. Let's see if it's still there. Do I still have it? No templates, no tier list. Damn it. All right, let's log out. Let's try another account. Too many accounts, guys. Too many accounts. 1 second. Maybe it's under my other account. Ah, yes. Oh, yes. It's still there. We've got it. The Linux tier list for 2026. Let's make it happen. Are you ready? We're going to hit this hot and heavy. And I'm going to try and be not so mean this time. Kali Linux. I know I got a lot of heat for putting this in the devil tier last time. Oh, no, I had a useless tier. We're missing a tier. 1 second, let's add it. Oh. What do we call this bottom tier? Trash. Trash tier. Yes. Beautiful. Let's put it, trash. Gray. Are we ready? Trash tier. God, you guys are amazing. I should have done this live on stream last year. All right, first off, we have Alma Linux. I think, is that Alma? I think it's Alma. They're best for business. Alpine, absolutely amazing. Great for basic, straight up, containerized stuff. It uses OpenRC. If you haven't tried Alpine and like containers and small use cases for like one-off, Alpine is the thing. Kali, everyone loves Kali. It's supreme tier, right? No, it's trash. Bloated, terrible, tons of gimmicks. I think it has like a Windows mode. Great for the script kiddies out there that really want to do it. Or maybe you don't know anything about Linux and you don't know like the burp suite and actually how to be a security researcher, but you want to cosplay as one. They're great. Yeah, use Kali Linux. Sorry, I meant to go a little bit softer this time, but every time I see Kali Linux, I'm just like, I guess it's fine to install on a VM once if you don't know anything. But past that, what are you doing? All right, Arctics. I think that's Arctics, or maybe that's what is this one? What is that? Antics. I think. Thought it was Arctics, but anywho. Certain use cases, it's like a stripped down Arch version that uses OpenRC, I want to say. Arch Linux Supreme. Like, Arch Linux is the granddaddy. SteamOS uses Arch Linux. CachyOS uses Arch Linux. Absolutely. If you know a lot about Linux, Arch Linux is just amazing. I use Arch Linux, and I got like 600 days of uptime. I used to say Arch Linux isn't as stable as like Debian and all the other ones, but in 2026, Arch Linux is king. It's the most supreme. Ruler of all distros. If you aren't using Arch, are you really even a Linux user? I don't know. Maybe not. Just gotta say, supreme. This one, what is this? This is Arco. Man, I haven't used Arco in forever. It's been a long time. I can't say I've really kept up with it. Not really there. Can't. How is Arco these days? It's a Arch Linux variant, but Arco Linux. What is old Arco up to? Arco Linux. Our website looks like trash. Man, I haven't installed it. I can't really say anything about it. I'm putting it in a trash tier. I can't. Arctic, certain use cases. This one, I still don't know what the hell that one was. What was this Linux? Antics. What was Antics Linux? God. A lot of people are always like, I gotta have it install this. Yeah, Anti-X Linux. That's right. Super lightweight, I remember. I remember using this a long time ago. It's probably been around. Last updated in 2024. Probably not seeing very much. But you could probably toss that on like a netbook or something and be okay. Artix is a little bit different. That's your OpenRC Linux. Sorry, I got the two mixed up there. Anyways. Kind of cool if you want to mess around with something that doesn't use systemd and uses Arch Linux. You can't go too wrong with that. CentOS. Is that even around anymore? Yeah, that's CentOS. Did they ever bring CentOS back? Yeah, they did. Did they finally trash it? Chat. CentOS. Did Red Hat finally just stick an axe in it after everyone uproared and they rebranded CentOS where it used to be a really good downstream, reliable, one-for-one bug fix off of RHEL? So CentOS Stream is still a thing. Well, it's obviously trashed here, but I just wanted to check with y'all. I was like just waiting for Red Hat to finally kill it, because they did my boy dirty here. CentOS used to be amazing. CentOS was the king. It's what I learned Linux on in the late 2000s. It was just fantastic. It was like Red Hat Linux, one for one. It's great, but it died. Clear Linux, man. I remember, I think last tier list I put Clear Linux in certain use cases, but Clear Linux, I think Intel abandoned Clear Linux. Clear Linux, Intel, shut down. Intel shuts down Clear Linux. It's gone forever, gone for good. Trashed, here it is. Debian. Gosh, last year we put Debian in the supreme ruler of all distros. It kind of still blogs up here for certain people, but I'd almost put it a little bit behind Arch now, because Arch has become pretty darn stable to where Debian's just really for old people that don't need newer packages. I'm sorry, but it's true. It doesn't make it a bad distro, though. It's an amazing distro, but it is very old. Is anybody younger than 40 using Debian? Probably not. Just saying. But it's great for work. It's just absolutely rock solid. I have nothing bad to say about Debian, as if you run Debian, you're never going to have to worry about your system just breaking out of the blue. Because everything's on a very good release cycle, and you never have to worry about anything. So, pure Debian, and it's spawned so many, like, knockoffs here. Like, Kali Linux was Debian. Peppermint was Debian. Elementary was Debian. What is this? Farron OS was Debian. Let's go through them all. What is that? God, we got so many Debian ripoffs here. It's like impossible. Parrot OS. You got Peppermint. PC Linux. Gosh, Puppy OS. What other Debian stuff we have in here? Zorin. Debian based. Ubuntu. Trash. Actually, Ubuntu will always go in the devil tier. Sorry. Am I missing any? Am I missing any there? Tails? I didn't put Tails in there, did I? Yeah, Tails is certain use cases. Everyone needs an online part. Yeah, Mint. You know what? Mint will always go into new user category. When someone is like, hey, Titus, what distro should I install? It's like a dumbed down version of Debian that anybody can just install and go. Is it great? I don't personally like it these days, but Cinnamon's a very basic desktop environment. It's great for a new user that doesn't need much. And Clem and the team over there have done a great job over the years. I remember they were the first to just say no to snap packs and pissed off the entire Linux community, but he's like, it's bad, trust me. I mean, I got to give him props on that one, you know? The LMDE, not based on... Yeah, LMDE is the Debian spin. Linux Mint's actually based on Ubuntu in the Devil tier. Now, Ubuntu is just almost irrelevant these days. Like... Nobody really uses Ubuntu anymore. I think probably some people that like knew something about Linux like 10 years ago but never really used desktop Linux that much, and they come back to Linux, they might install Ubuntu. But anybody that knows anything just rarely uses Ubuntu. Occasionally you'll run into a couple people. I think maybe some Linux laptop users. I remember Ubuntu having some kernel optimizations that weren't so bad, but I would just never install Ubuntu. It's just not great, you know? What was this one? I'm unfamiliar with this one. Void Linux. God, I still got to use Void. Void doesn't use systemd. If you want to experiment with an Arch Linux spin, but use OpenRC, initd, run it. I mean, you can choose anything with Void. It's kind of cool in that regard. What's this one? This one, oh, TinyCore. Yeah, TinyCore was a very, very minimal Linux distro. So if you have like a potato and you need to install Linux on, TinyCore is actually not that bad. Oh gosh. Best for business and Devil tier. It's just so difficult to choose between them. There's so many business distros that kind of make it into the Devil tier, but you kind of need to use them in business too. Where it's kind of like where OpenSUSE. God, there's been so much controversy over OpenSUSE over the years, but from a business perspective, nah, we got to put them in Devil tier. Sorry, Lizard's got to go down there. It's just one of those things. OpenSUSE, I still have a soft spot in my heart for. They were the first really to have amazing grub startup menu, and really did it up well. And Yast, it gets a lot of crap. It's like a control center for Linux, but Yast does accomplish some things. Maybe not the best, but I appreciate what they tried to do. Looking back on it, I feel bad about putting it in the Devil tier, but at the end of the day, would I recommend it to someone? No. Should you use OpenSUSE? Maybe. The open build service that they put in is amazing. God, all right, we're going to put it certain use cases. I'm taking it out of Devil tier. Just there's some things OpenSUSE does so well that I like. Other than it being controlled by a big company, it has a place there. It has a small place. I don't think you should use it. But if you do use it and you really like it, I also get it. You know. Anyhow. Yeah. Fedora, Devil tier. Fedora controlled by the man. The Red Hat man. Which is not even a great... the old awesome logo, this is back when Red Hat was good. I'm not even going to update the logo to the modern Red Hat logo. Fedora, Red Hat, kind of go hand in hand. If you're unfamiliar, Fedora's upstream from Red Hat. They do all the testing on Fedora. Red Hat essentially has a lot of influence and control over Fedora, so you got to put it in the Devil tier. Is it a bad distro, though? That's what people want to know. No. I love Fedora. It's the devil, don't get me wrong. But sometimes you just gotta make a deal with the devil. Because Fedora and the universal spins are just so very good. Oh my god, I love them to death. And how it created like atomic desktops and some of the innovation that came out of it. Oh, it's straight up satanic. But you have me worshiping sometimes when I look at it and I'm like, man, so good. So good. Oh, that's a really good idea. I really like how different that is. And it's a pretty solid distro. I know Torvalds is going to use Fedora because he builds the kernel, and it's I can't blame Linus Torvalds for doing that. I really can't. It's a solid base. It has the rolling kernel releases. Fedora makes it really easy for it to build the Linux kernel and him to try stuff out. Man, that's just Fedora. It's like that meme with the priest. The priest and the prostitute meme. That is Fedora right there. They're the devil because of Red Hat. But, yeah, no. It is what it is. All right, Garuda. You know, a lot of people love Garuda. Just not really there anymore. Kind of what's taken the place with Garuda. I usually would have put it in new users. It just has a tendency to break because people overuse the AUR, and it's just not as good as Cache. Cache OS, which, do we even have Cache? Oh, we don't even have Cache. Damn it. Oh, did that not download? Damn it, 1 second. That's gonna be a circle. Let's go here. All right. All right, Cache OS, we got to bring that in because it kind of replaced Garuda for me. And I'm going to put it, if you want to try Arch, you don't know jack about Linux, but you really want to tinker and mess around with stuff, and you want to try a bunch of different desktop environments, different window managers, and God, it just does such a good job. Cache OS has really kind of come on and made the list. That's how good it is. I even wanted to like modify the tier list to add Cache this year, just because so many people talked about it. I tried it. I don't personally... I would personally like to just use vanilla Arch and be as minimal as possible. But God, we got to add it. It's so good for a new user. We got to also add the others too. Yeah, Bazite's not on here. And we also have... what was the other one that I'm missing? We have Nabarro already. Oh, there's something else I'm missing. Oh, Omarchi, man. We got to get Omarchi. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Oh, no. Do we have an Omarchi SVG? It doesn't. I think it's this logo here. Yeah, let's just save this. It's fine. It's not great, but it'll do. All right, let's add these guys. Omarchi and Bazite. Yeah, we gotta add those two. Oh, no. There we go. Tech, zero Linux. You want me to add it? I don't want to offend you, bro. I'm a nice guy. Okay. We had to add these two because they're really, really good for new users. Omarchy is amazing for people that want to try Hyperland with Wayland, with a Tyler setup, with everything kind of baked in, made by DHH. Great for new users. I don't personally like it because it's way opinionated. He chooses way too much crap for it that I don't particularly use or want to use. So besides like Hyperland and stuff, he always chooses like 1Password. There's just a lot of stylized choices that he makes that I don't necessarily agree with, or I just don't like using. So Omarchy's not for me, but I see why people choose it. And if you don't know anything about it, but you want to try a Tyler, Omarchy does a really good job. In the same vein, there's Bazite, which is like SteamOS. You know, the people that are like, I'm going to wait for SteamOS to hit the mainstream before I try Linux. What are you doing? Just install Bazite. It's like SteamOS for whatever computer you're putting on. Great for like a home theater setup. I don't know if I'd necessarily run it as a desktop. You could. I did it for about a month on this computer we're on right now, and it was fine, but it is very limiting, it being an immutable distro, meaning you can't change a lot of stuff. You can do distro box, you can install a lot of things, but it's very much a very stuck in time kind of thing, but in a good way, to where if you just want to play games and you just want something that doesn't change a bunch and you're okay with the defaults of like SteamOS, Bazite's really what you should use. It does a great job. And Bazite actually uses a modified version of the CachyOS kernel. They do a couple more tweaks, but 90-something% of the Bazite kernel is CachyOS. So, kind of amazing. I think it's great. Nobara. Oh, God, I want to put it here. But in reality, Nobara will always get in the great for new users. It's based on Fedora. It's made by Glorious Eggroll, who works at Red Hat. I should put this in the devil tier, right? But Glorious Eggroll just does so much for the gaming community, and we'd be lost without him, and we'd be far further back than where we stay today without Glorious Eggroll's contributions to the Linux gaming community. So Nobara makes it into the great for new users category for me. Just so good. You can't really do it. The Eggroll is just amazing for new users. It's great. Now, a lot of people in chat were saying Parrot and Kali. Man, I'm still staying the same stance. Why not just use regular Debian, install your burp suite, install the crap that you need, make your system secure yourself. When it comes to security in Linux, it doesn't matter what distro you choose. You know what the problem is? You, right there behind the screen. You want to know why your Arch Linux is so insecure? You suck. You don't know anything. And if you're relying on the defaults of a distribution to save your ass, you're a lost cause. You need to get good, noob. Learn some stuff. It's the user's fault if your system gets hacked. I'm just saying. I'm not saying my system won't get hacked. There's definitely some things I could learn about security. But I know enough to know what I don't know. And I know just installing Parrot or Kali and relying on those defaults for security is a recipe for disaster. So, we're just going to leave it there. Sorry. All right, anyways. Moving on. What do we got here? Is this still around? I know they had a little bit. Solus OS, yeah. I did Solus install. Solus was always kind of like its own thing. It has its own kernel. It's not based off a major distro like all this crap down here where it's based off of Debian or Arch. It's just kind of like its own thing. I mean, most of these things are just forks of Arch, Debian, or Fedora. Really. Like Linux Mint, Debian. Kachy, Arch. Omarchy, Arch. Bazite, Fedora. Nobara, Fedora. These are just people choosing what flavors that go into the distro. People that say there's too many Linux distros don't know shit about Linux. At least Linux desktop. I mean, somebody in chat's probably going to be like, Linus Torvalds said there's too many distros and it's too fragmented. Yeah, but the guy just makes kernels, man. He makes the Linux kernel. He doesn't, like, necessarily really mess around in the user space that much. There's different levels of mastery and there's different levels of choosing stuff. So, that's what. All right. So, that's kind of where I'm at. Solus, though. Getting back to that, I'm going to leave it in certain use cases. Is it still around? Is it still maintained? Let's look at Solus OS wiki. Last release, 17 days ago. Still maintained. It's kind of like its own thing. Independent. Uses Budgie as its main desktop environment of choice. Very talented dev team. But very unique package manager. Everything's kind of unique with it. I can't hate on that. At least they tried. Not very many people use it, though. Slackware. Okay, well, I don't want to get hacked, and I don't want the entire OG neckbeard Linux community to come after me and try and hunt me down at my house and kill me. So Slackware has its use cases. I just don't know what those are, and I just know the community is rabid. So we don't make fun of Slackware. It's an OG. It is protected. No one should use it, but the people that do use it, just know they're kind of crazy. We're just going to say certain use cases for probably autistic people. Anyway, continuing on. Pop OS. Yeah. Three more up, please. I mean, I get it. Slackware is supreme for those people. Just not for me. This is my tier list. Highly opinionated. Warning. All right. Pop OS. Oh, it's trash. Pop OS is kind of in the trash tier. It could go up. I always get shit whenever I put it in the trash tier because it is a decent thing, but it's a Debian fork of Ubuntu, and then, fork of that down to here, and then they kind of choose their own stuff. The problem I have with Pop is it's a fork of a fork. It hasn't really done anything unique yet. I haven't completely written it off, though. Pop OS has Cosmic coming out. It's made by System76. Talented team that's kind of obsessed with Rust. So if you hate Rust, probably go ahead and skip forward, because Pop OS is very, very Rust oriented now, and I'm curious to see where it goes. But as of today, January of 2026, it's kind of trash. It's just kind of where it's at. Cosmic could become a good thing. It could move up. But this is where we're at right now. Anyways, moving on. Nix OS. Oh, God, Nix. Nix is another kind of crazy community, but I kind of love Nix. Nix makes it in the best for business tier for me. Nix OS has this really unique where everything's configured. You can configure everything in Nix OS with one config file, configuration.nix and etc. And you can build out entire systems with hundreds of packages, with a whole environment, and then distribute it across thousands of computers without paying a dime. And it's really, really a cool, unique implementation. And they have rollbacks, so it's really stable. So very neat implementation of Linux. I have a soft spot for Nix. I love how they've done it. But as a desktop user, would I ever use Nix? Hell no. No, absolutely not. I'm not crazy. I have a brain. When there's other stuff like Arch or Debian available, why would I use Nix? I like to change my stuff often. I like to try out new things. I like to do that. I ain't trying to rebuild my whole damn system every time and redo it every time I want to do something. Yeah, I know there's Nix environments and different things. It's great from a sysadmin point of view. But to use it as your standard desktop when you're changing and installing packages every single day, you cannot sit there and tell me that's a good idea. Unless you just have far too much time on your hands. Come on. But there are people that use Gentoo, so, you know. Speaking of Gentoo, this is another neckbeard. Hey, I'm cool. I installed Gentoo. I've been informed they have binaries and emerge now. And, you know, I don't want to die, so I'm not going to put it in trash tier. We'll put it over here next to Slackware. Gentoo is a very, very old distro. Most people compile it from scratch, and then they compile every binary that they want to use, and that's a lot of fun for them. To me, that just sounds like a lot of work when there's better options. Doesn't make it bad, though. No. I think it's just a very unique kind of user that uses Gentoo. Again, probably autistic. Anyway, let's keep going here. What else we got? I don't even know what this one is. Neon. KDE Neon? Oh, God. KDE Neon? Is that still a thing? God, I hated KDE Neon the first time I used it. Oh, hell, it's still a thing. It's like the testing ground, more like the dumpster fire of KDE. Has like its own package manager built on top of apt last time I used it. Surely it's gotten better. But why would you want a fork of a fork of a fork? It's terrible. Don't ever use KDE Neon. I know KDE is a great desktop environment, but come on now. It's kind of rough. It's just very rough. This one. I haven't used this one in a bit. What is that? MX Linux. Oh, man. MX used to be so good. Oh, gosh. Oh, it was so cool. Oh, this is a fork of Debian. It's been around the market forever. Anyways, that just goes in the trash tier. Nobody uses that anymore. Manjaro. Oh, my gosh. Manjaro has an amazing community. They have a great development team with Philip Mueller. Just an amazing, amazing team. But honestly, it's kind of trash these days. I don't really use it anymore. I'm sorry. It's just like, why? You got Arch, and then if you don't know enough, you got Cashy. Ah, dang, I hate to do it. I feel bad. I feel like I'm playing Arc Raiders, and I just told a guy, yep, friendly, and then I just shot him in the back. That's how it feels right here with Manjaro. I want to like it. It has a good team, got a decent community, but too much bad experiences over the years for me to recommend Manjaro. If you're thinking Manjaro, just install Cashy. I hate to say it, but it's true. All right. LXDE, I think that is, isn't it? Or is that QT? No, this is Lubuntu. God bless. Lubuntu, honestly, certain use cases. Minimal. Install it on a netbook. Some potato that you have laying around, and it's kind of an Ubuntu fork. It's not great, but it is very lightweight. It's not bad. Kubuntu. Ubuntu I really like for laptops, actually. I actually got a K-Focus laptop with Kubuntu preloaded, and I liked that laptop. It had some very cool built-in features. The kernel was highly optimized for the laptop, and I think it's just that one experience that has it in new users. I know that's wild. I have Ubuntu in the devil tier and Kubuntu right here in amazing for new users tier. But that one experience kind of brings it up for a laptop. I really liked it. I installed vanilla Debian on that laptop, and I didn't have as good of a time as the Kubuntu spin of it. Now, it could have been highly personalized for that specific hardware. I think it was, but it was a great experience. But if that's not you and you're on your desktop and you just want to kind of roll your own thing, would I recommend it? No, I wouldn't. What do we have here? Was there anything we're missing? Endeavor. Oh gosh, Endeavor's been around forever. Has an amazing repo. It's Arch based. So many good things. Like Garuda. Garuda and Endeavor. You know what? They're not bad distros. I just think you should use Cashy. I'm sorry, we just gotta push you guys. We got so much in the trash tier. What else am I missing? What else am I missing? What do we got? Open Mandriva. I've never used it. Don't really plan to. But I could see it. I would probably put that one in certain use cases. I don't think I'd recommend that one for a new user, though. You know what I'm saying? Void's there. Void we put in certain use cases. What else do we have? I did move from Endeavor to Cache and agree. All right, there we go. Damn small Linux, certain use cases. Debian. I tried Debian. Not a great experience, but it's a Debian spin that has systemd, certain use cases. Cubes. Cubes is amazing. Edward Snowden's distro. It is very, very well done and very compartmentalized and also very complex. It's mainly for security people out there. If you're a security researcher, you should learn cubes and understand security comes from the compartmentalization. It's not when you get hacked. It's not if you get hacked, it's when you get hacked. And what cubes does is it mitigates the security risks along the way. So if you really are obsessed about security, learn cubes. If you're super paranoid, learn cubes. Cubes is the best distro for security. It's not Parrot. It's not Kali. It's none of this security researcher influencer bullshit that you see out there. It's cubes. Use cubes. Learn it. It's too complicated, Titus. You're not meant to be a security researcher. You're not meant to be private or secure online. That's what I'm having to say to you. You might be thinking, that's cruel. I'm an average guy. I just want to be private and secure online. No. Sell all your stuff, move out in the middle of a field somewhere, and buy a bucket to crap in. That's the only way you're going to be private and secure if you don't understand cubes. So, install cubes. If you want to be that guy. But, be ready. It's a wild ride, and it is very complex. And if you don't understand virtual machines and networking, you're going to learn, or you're not going to use that system. Anyways, yeah. Debian Sid. Man, I still love Debian Sid. I ran Debian Sid for over a year. It's the supreme tier for me. Enduin OS, I haven't messed with. Need to. Pika OS, still haven't messed with. Wiserel in the evil tier. Come on now. It's Red Hat. We gotta know the bait and switch of Red Hat. Omarchy, we put in the amazing for new users tier. Not bad. Not bad. I still love it. Anything else? Is there anything that chat says I have messed up and need to be rectified for it? Alpine, certain use cases, amazing. Love it. TrueNAS Scale. I love TrueNAS Scale. Fantastic for NAS boxes, certain use cases, or best for business. One of the two. Second favorite Arch-based distro? Okay. So we got Arch, we got Cache. Second favorite? Probably Omarchy. It's Arch too. I think that's how I would rate it. I'd put number one Arch by like a long shot. Like if you're good with Linux, you want to be running Arch, vanilla Arch. What do you do with your life? But let's say you're like new and I'm like still learning stuff. Cache OS is a great starting spot. So many different flavors, so much to learn. And then probably Omarchy just for like the tiling window manager. It kind of teaches you a few things. I like it for that aspect. It's like a distant third for me. And then past that, you're starting to cut hairs. Like, your ass needs to just learn Arch Linux at that point. If you're like, I need another Arch-based distro. No, you don't. You need to go learn something. That's what you need. I used to say distros don't matter. And honestly, distributions don't matter if you know what you're doing. Because at the end of the day, you just strip out what you don't like and you put what you do like. Distributions still run the Linux kernel. It's just a matter of it choosing a bunch of programs that run alongside with it with a certain package manager. Let's say you don't even like the package manager. Screw it. You got so many options these days. You could even install DistroBox and just run whatever the hell you want. You could run Flatpak. You could run anything and everything. Like, there's no limitations. Anybody that says I have to run this program for this distro doesn't know shit. Straight up. And if you're thinking, Titus, I have to install this one distro to make this thing work, you're the problem. You don't know enough. That's it. So, all distros are is a starting spot. What's the best starting spot for you? That's all distros are. That's what this is. To me, starting spots are just that. Like, why I put like Kali. Let's take some of the more controversial picks here. Kali, Parrot. These are very similar, and they teach you stuff about like they come pre-installed with like the burp suite, the Metasploit, many of the other tools that you might use as a security researcher. But in my opinion, why I put them in the trash tier is you get bombarded with all these software things that are put on here, and you're just this massive buffet of choice, and you're just paralyzed because you don't know shit. So you're just like, oh, I guess I'll just run random shit from here because I saw a YouTuber make a video about it. No. Like, learn about the security software and how it works, and then install that software on Debian. Make your own Kali, make your own Parrot. That's how you're actually going to learn something. This targets script kiddies, not professionals. Yeah, there's going to be some professionals that swear by it. But the real professionals, the people actually sitting there doing the work, you can't sit there and tell me you're using it. You just can't. You're just being lazy. That's what's happening. Anyways, sorry. And I know, I should revise this. I should be like 3 years ago, I got completely flamed for this. And you might call it rage baiting, but it's how I genuinely feel. I agree with the corporate distros are the devil. It's just, I guess I've gotten old enough to where it's like, you get betrayed enough by corporations that seem good on their face, and then it's just a matter of time before they do something to screw you over. And Red Hat has done it multiple times now. The first time they did it, and I absolutely just got super pissed off about CentOS. CentOS used to be an amazing distro. It's what I learned Linux on. It was great. And then Red Hat took it over. They bought out the creator. He actually made not Alma Linux, but Rocky Linux. Rocky Linux is great. Love Rocky Linux. It was basically CentOS 2.0. But they took it, they rebranded CentOS and made it Stream and made it slightly upstream from Red Hat Enterprise. So what it looks like is this. So Red Hat Enterprise is the rock solid you pay a subscription for to use. Then you got CentOS Stream, which is upstream from that. And then you got Fedora upstream from that. So bleeding edge is Fedora, slightly below that CentOS Stream, and then below that's Red Hat. They should have just trashed it. And it's only a matter of time before they do. But don't use CentOS. It's just like, so anyways, they screwed over CentOS. Still salty about that. And then when they tried to launch and essentially shut down Alma, Rocky, Oracle, all these one-for-one bug replications of Red Hat Enterprise Linux, they essentially said, you can't clone our repos. You can't take our open source code and use it in your system. You need to have like a Red Hat account to do that. There's always workarounds for that because at the end of the day, it is open source. But the fact they even tried to lock down that code and say, no, you can't, all the while with having other open source code in the GPL license in their distribution, it's just like, what the hell you doing, Red Hat? So there's like multiple things Red Hat has done over the years that just seem in it in the devil tier. And honestly, by comparison, Ubuntu really hasn't screwed up that bad in the past 5 years. I mean, sure, the distribution's kind of trash now, and it's really slow. Last time I tried to use it, it was like kind of, why? But was it bad?
I would say it wasn't bad. I would just say it's kind of obsolete. And the devil stuff they did was honestly from way, way back in the day. So I don't even think they care about desktop. They're more of like business now. I'd almost put them just as a business customer now. They're still devil tier to me though, because it's only a matter of time before they do something stupid to screw things up again. But I'm just saying. What do I use? Arch Linux, man. Arch. It's the king. There is no better. There's Arch users, and then there's people that haven't found Arch yet. That's all there is in 2026. Where are you on your journey? You still on Cashy? Are you still slumming around the Fedora realm? Still just sticking to your comfort foods? Or have you ascended and become an Arch user? Maybe. Maybe not. Oh, yeah, Peter. Oh, thank you for call out here. Chris is wrong about Ubuntu not having screwed up much the past 5 years. Snap, which you're not familiar with the controversy over Snap, is the Snap stores are controlled by Canonical. So it's essentially like a proprietary store inside of the Linux realm, which is kind of funny. Yeah. And then you got the Rust core utils. Like, rewriting things in Rust is kind of hilarious. It's become like a meme at this point. But when you've had like really like rock solid pieces of software that have come out, like grep and sudo and other things that have just been solid, not needing to be fixed, but work great. And then you're just like, I'm going to rewrite it in Rust because I can. Dude, that was just, I don't know if I call that devil. That's just what I call incompetence and not understanding. So that's what my thought processes are on those two things. But the Snap store is definitely devil tier, for sure. Snaps are also very slow, yes. I think it was the Fedora Snap, or not the Fedora Snap, Firefox Snap that had a lot of upstart issues and many other things. So Snap's a dead thing. Nobody uses Snap anymore. If you're using Snap, eventually you're going to have to switch to Flatpak or something else. Snap's a gone thing. Nobody does it. So what is the Midas label on your main art stream? So Andrew, I decided, well, I'll just make a DWM spinoff, and I've just been kind of kitting out DWM and just using it because I got tired of everything else. So if you go to DWM Titus, here's all the source code for my DWM spin. Essentially, it's just Xorg, DWM, and nothing else. The entire operating system with all of, well, I mean, most things are all in here, is about 9 megs. And the binary for DWM is about 100 kilobytes. Kilobytes, not megabytes, but literally 0.1 megabyte is what my entire tiling window manager uses. So, it's kind of cool. I love it. I love it. Programming tier list. When? Oh, God. I don't know enough about programming. I know what I don't know, and I know it's a lot. I got a long way to go before I go with a programming tier list. Because right now, oh God, let's see. Let's make a noobs programming tier list. How about that? You guys want to do that? Oh God, we're going a little bit long today. Programming tier list. Okay, let's remix this list. Can we reset it? Yeah, here we go. All right, let's say from a guy that dabbles in programming, the programming tier list. And this is going to be just off the wall, absolutely wrong. Everyone's going to flame me to hell and back, and it's just going to be terrible. As, again, I am not a programmer. I like to dabble in programming. So, let's just begin. Assembly, S tier. If you can do assembly, you are a god amongst men. Amazing. Bash. I love Bash. You need to do something in Linux, make a script. Amazing. Let's put it in A tier. I just absolutely love it. C, the world runs on C. Everything. You're going to see C code everywhere. Just an amazing language. C++, late 90s. That's what I initially coded with Borland C++. I absolutely dreaded it. I hated pointers. I don't really understand a lot about C. And anytime I see C, I'm like, man, when I see a competent C++ programmer, I'm like, that guy is going places. C sharp. Oh, C sharp. It should go in F tier. It's made by Microsoft. You have .NET libraries. It's kind of like dirty. But God, when it comes to Windows, I just like using C sharp. I gotta say, I want to hate C sharp so much, but I just don't. I really like it. I got it. What is this programming language? I don't notice that. What is that image? Chat, I'm gonna need your help. I don't know what that is. Yeah. CSS. Oh God, F tier. That's not a programming language. You need to know CSS. But ew. I hate it. But I have to use it all the time in programming. I just hate CSS. You know what AI is made for? CSS code. Just awful. Anytime I have to look at like a web developer, I swear if I see one more exclamation important behind every single stupid CSS class, I'm going to scream. Anybody that uses CSS typically is incompetent. And then anybody that's competent in CSS doesn't ever want to use it. And when we do use it, we're just like, oh God, why did I agree to this stupid code review in CSS when somebody else wrote this absolute bastardization of a cascading style sheet? I just absolutely hate CSS with a dire passion. It should die. Some new thing that's noob proof should come along, and then I would never have to see another 5,000 line class everywhere with freaking important, and I have no idea the order of things and what's inherited where because the person that made it originally just sucks at programming. But that's the only person ever writing in CSS. Anyway, sorry. Go. You know what? I always wanted to use Go. It has a pretty mascot. It looks cool. It's everywhere. But, yeah, I'm not really competent in Go. I think I've vibe coded some stuff here and there in it. Maybe I've used, like, Charm Bracelet has an amazing library to, like, make GIF files that uses a Go script. And I've used a couple other things with Go, and it's kind of cool. But, you know. Yeah. HTML5. Yeah, I really haven't. I'm going to put it C tier. Not really there. Kind of hate it, but it's going places. And honestly, when you get like Java and JavaScript, oh, I just hate Java. Anything Java. Just die in a fire already. What is that? Swift. You can go into D tier for Mac. Lua, you know what? I like Lua. Lua's B tier. Solid B tier. PHP, A tier. I just love PHP. Python, I'm going to put that in C tier. Not great. Ruby on Rails, F tier. Anytime I try to use it, it's like a functional language. I just, but you know, the people that can use Ruby, amazing. Shopify's built with Ruby. Amazing. When full stack and everything, I get it. I just think there's better things in 2026 for Ruby. So it's kind of like, you know. Sorry, Ruby. I want to put you higher, but alas, here we are. Oh my God, there's some weird ones in here. MySQL, I just love it. PHP, MySQL. I'm just an old fart. I just have a sucker for these things. They're not necessarily very good, but I like writing in PHP and MySQL. It's not bad. They kind of go hand in hand. Perl, we're going to toss that in the Lua branch. Rust. Dirty Rust. Syntax makes my head explode. I hate how it does a lot of things, but at the end of the day, Linutil's written in Rust, and it's honestly not that bad. I really like Cargo. It's slow as shit, but when it comes down to it, I really think cargo is really powerful. And if a noob like me can understand some of the erroneous output that cargo puts up there, you've done a pretty good job. So Rust, A tier. I really like it. So good. PowerShell. Guys. PowerShell is S tier. The entire Windows toolbox is built in PowerShell. It's an absolutely insane person's language. No one should ever use PowerShell. If you understand PowerShell run spaces, you effectively are a black hat wizard that can make magic happen anywhere. It's awful. Don't ever do this. Don't ever code in PowerShell, but I absolutely love PowerShell. I don't know what's wrong with me. I am mentally unstable, not fit to make this tier list. But PowerShell, I don't know what it is. I sit there and just mess around in it, and I'm just like, it's kind of insane what you can do with it. All of WinUtil, it builds a whole XAML file in run spaces, makes the whole GUI interface live on the screen for you in WinUtil. PowerShell's amazing. I have the #1 PowerShell project on GitHub. Did you expect me to put it anywhere else? Would I use PowerShell in Linux? Okay. I said I was mentally damaged, which is true. But I'm not that brain dead, okay? I'm not going to use PowerShell in Linux. That's just insane. Use Bash. Come on now. What are we doing with our lives? All right, let's get it. Let's redeem ourselves a little bit. Visual Basic, F tier. Everyone agrees. There's nobody that uses Visual Basic that agrees it belongs anywhere but F tier. It's just awful. It's always been awful. The people that get paid to make Visual Basic programs in 2026 agree it's awful, but it's what they know, and they get paid, and it pays the bills, and you can't agree with, you can't argue with that. But it doesn't make it less of a crappy language. Now, these other ones down here, from a noob's perspective, what in the hell are they? Because I don't know. What is this R? What is this one? The R with the thing. That's just an R. Okay. It's called R. It's for data science stuff. I don't know. We need to make a new one. Let's add row below. No idea. All right. We're going to just make a no idea one. R, I've never used it, never heard of it. Don't do data analysis, so not there. MATLAB. Anybody use MATLAB? Huh? MATLAB? I don't know what MATLAB is. No idea. What's this one? MATLAB is horrendous. I don't know what it is. I can't say it's horrendous unless I've actually used it. What's this green one right here? D4, thanks for the tier 1. Is LF and no tier. OCaml, I like OCaml. Is that OCaml? No, OCaml is the camel with the orange on the background. Yeah, I was like, that's not OCaml. Yeah, OCamel's this guy right here. But OCaml would probably make it A tier for me. I like OCaml. Okay, this is Fortran. It's F tier. Nobody likes to use Fortran. Although if you learn Fortran, you could probably work on like the nuclear facilities and stuff. It's kind of great. Haskell, F tier. Okay, you got to be autistic to use Haskell. Like, good lord. I remember trying to learn Haskell, and I like read 2 chapters, and I was like, nope, absolutely not. Haskell, awful. Not learning that. You want me to do Haskell? Nope, I'm quitting. Absolutely not. Yeah, no. I hate Java and JavaScript too. Absolutely. We can put TypeScript in here too. Absolutely hate TypeScript because it's just essentially JavaScript with types. And I'm just not about that life. I hate Java. I hate JavaScript. I hate TypeScript. No. This is my tier list. I know I'm wrong. I'm a noob. You can make fun of me. That's okay. Doesn't make it less desirable for me to code in it. I'm just saying. I don't like coding in it. It goes in F tier. LaTeX. I don't think I've ever really... I probably used LaTeX, but I can't remember using it. Yeah, Haskell's devil tier. Just insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah. Document creator? Yeah, I thought so too. I think I used it for a Hugo project, actually, for a document website. I could be wrong. I've used it before, but I don't know enough about it to say anything one way or the other. Yeah, and the other ones here, I don't really... What's the K? Is that... I wish they did a better job. Kotlin. I don't know enough about Kotlin. What's this weird one right here? Lisp. Oh. No, I don't think I've ever coded anything in Lisp either. These ones I've never really done anything with, or I've done like one project in, and I don't know enough about them to really make anything. Yeah. Lisp belongs with Haskell. Anything I missed? Is there anything that I needed to hit on here? I think we got the noob's version of of a programming tier list here. This is awful. It's completely wrong, but it is my tier list. As a guy that's never gotten paid. Well, actually, I've gotten paid to make stuff. Never mind. I've actually gotten paid quite a bit of money to program some stuff. I've never actually been hired to program in a certain language, though. They've always just hired me and like, we need you to make some shit happen. And I'd be like, all right, I can do that. Oh, F sharp. Wait a second. F sharp. We gotta get F sharp on here. Oh my God. F sharp icon. F sharp. Yes. You know what? Well, actually, let's go. All right, let's go with this one. 1 second. We got to edit this. F sharp. All right, we got F sharp added. We got to add a new tier list. Sorry. The best ever. Nothing else is needed. Yep. We're going to make that. And we're going to make this one magenta. F sharp belongs in the best ever. No other language ever needs to be invented. It is the perfect functional programming language for me. I absolutely love it. It's like C sharp had a baby that made functional programming amazing. And I absolutely love F sharp. Yeah, I know it uses .NET. I know Microsoft is heavily influencing the project. Should absolutely go somewhere, but good Lord, I absolutely adore F sharp. Every time I code something in F sharp, I'm like, that's perfection. I absolutely love this language. I don't know why I love it so much, but just, oh, it makes me feel good. I don't know why. Could you elaborate a little bit more on Zorn and the trash tier? You know, I don't really use Zorn that much, and it's Debian Spin. They're probably okay, but I haven't really used them much in 2 or 3 times, so useless, trash, meh, same old, same old. Anywho. All right, well, I hope this was entertaining for some. I doubt this makes it into a YouTube video because, my God, I don't feel like someone showing up at my house wanting to shoot me. So, if you are alive here for the programming tier list and the Linux tier list, congratulations. You got an exclusive peek at my tier list and my damaged way of thinking about the world in general. I hope you'd enjoyed this. Love y'all. Have a fantastic day. I am out. I will be streaming on Thursday. We'll probably do something that's not quite as aggressive and probably pisses everybody off, but no promises. I'll probably still piss people off. All right, y'all.